super late to the uh, New Year planning situation. Uh, the holidays were madness and all the good stuff like that, and it's finally settling down at last, which feels so good. I am not one for all the craziness. It's nice, it's lovely, but I'd much rather be at home. Anyways, I'm finishing up uh, putting together my 2024 pages because of how I do things. I type out all my planning and journaling on good notes, and then I print them out. And in 2024, I was taping them into the journal that I originally started. I originally was doing it normally, hand drawing everything, hand writing everything, but I can't read my own writing, so it's crazy to try and go through and find the information if I need to find information, or just to plainly look back. And partly because my handwriting is disastrously messy, and also I am dyslexic, and sometimes words just don't word, and it doesn't look like words on paper, it looks like scribbly lines. So it takes me a while to figure out what maybe I might have been trying to say. So I came up with this method, funnily enough, around the exact same time as Megan Rhiannon um, started doing hers kind of this way. It was kind of funny because I think we might have had the same brainwave at the same time, worlds apart, which is kind of funny to me, and I will always live that in my head that we had the same brainwave. So I I like to keep the books, anyways. Ugh. Anyways, I like to keep what I start with to what I end with. Um, just so that way when I store it, it's easier. So I just kind of did this weird method. Because when I was starting this, I knew if I was going to print out the pages and stuff like that, it would have been easier just to get a ring binder system. But I don't like having unfinished journals of a year. It ends up irking me, so that's why I'm taping everything in, and it really fluffs up the journals and my planner situation. um right here, I'm doing my planner. It's actually not that bad in comparison to my journal, which is significantly fluffier. I guess maybe since I kind of journal more, and how I plan, it's very, very minimal. It's more of just the idea of what I've done, and the journal is all the memory keeping, good little situations, what I kind of did, if I did anything of particular value or anything interesting happened. That's where I keep that information in journal form, and then the planner form is like appointments and things that happened, uh, the days my husband's working, when stuff like that, um and for 2025 I thrifted myself a 6 ring binder, and that's how I'm going to be doing it this year. And I'm keeping it the same method with the good notes and then printing them out, and then I'll be putting them in the rings in separate sections. So there will be a section for my planning stuff. My planning, I guess, is more of a log. My planning pages, and then um, my journal pages, and then any other kind of things that I want to collect, of course, along with any kind of like researchy stuff. If I get into a particular interest and I do research, I would like to throw that in the binder also. And at the end of the year, I would like to not poke bind, but stab bind, or I think that's what it's called. yeah, I think it's called stat binding, um, to store all my pages neatly and tidily away, and I think it will look really nice, and it'll be a great way to kind of preserve that this year at the end of this year. As for the rest of my system, I guess you would call it, I've actually finally understood Notion. I've been interested in Notion, but every time I would try to understand it, it would just whoop, and I just couldn't. But for some reason, it just clicked, and I've created my good, my good, my Notion pages, and they're mostly lists. I don't like writing lists, partly because my handwriting issue, partly because it just stresses me out, all seeing all the scribbled or X's. I don't know. I like things to just disappear when they're done, but I like to remember that they are a thing, because I forget that things are a thing a lot of the time, and that is very not good. So I set up all my GoodNote pages, pretty much GoodNotes, Notion pages, so I can keep track of all the listy like things that I need to keep up with. My GoodNotes is set up with like my journaling system, my planning system, and a couple of other notebooks for like my book of shadows, and a couple of other things for like going through projects, like brainstorming projects and whatnot. I should really make a video on this because it is hard to explain like this. So I should do that. That might be the next thing I do. As for the channel, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but this year I really, really want to try and just try a little bit of everything. And it might just be a wild ride, so hopefully I stick to it, because I said this last year and I didn't do a thing about that. And I felt bad the entire year, and it just became a negative cycle in my head. So this year I am going to really try to get something going on here and share little blips of my life online. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.